भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ।
Dear friends, we are to start on the third Mundaka, the last Mundaka of the Mundaka Upanishad. During our previous discourse, we had a bird's eye view of what we have studied up till now. And this is the third and the last Mundaka, where in sequence of thought, the Rishi Angirasha will place before us what is the goal of life, how to reach it, and in the process of reaching, what will be your experiences so that you know that you are not deceiving yourself. At the same time, you know you are on the right track. So the famous statement that I keep on reminding you, Indian scriptures have to be studied as a book of information, a subject matter of education, followed up by motivated instruction, and ultimately it is description of the state that you will achieve or attain, and the description is so vivid that you cannot go wrong. So coming back to the study, the third chapter starts after the first and the second. And the first chapter had two components. One is, once for all, we must be convinced that the wisdom found in the Upanishad is no human brainwave. However intelligent, however thoughtful, however penetrative in your understanding, however academically you may be qualified, whatever it may be, a human conclusion is in the domain of Maya and it cannot be absolute and perfect. Therefore, the wisdom emanating from the study of the Upanishad or any other scriptures is a direct message from the divine. So authenticity and authority of this education and information is beyond human questioning. There's the first that we heard. Then he classifies that, look, there are two branches of knowledge. One is appertinent to the world, and the world is ever changing. So, your wisdom about the world, your understanding of the world will keep on changing. By way of example, the understanding of the people when we had our lives in the forests, in the hills and the dales, the understanding of the people at that time and understanding of people in today's world are poles apart. So, Apara Vidya Vishaya is an endless pursuit of the mysteries of this mysterious world and nature. It is almost endless, and you keep on pursuing, and you are performing your duties, you die, you enjoy the fruits of your good work and bad work in the Netherlands, in the heavens or in hell, and you come back again. This cycle continues. That is Apara Vidya, not so sublime knowledge, but an indispensable knowledge. What is the indispensability about it? The indispensability is, until unless you know what is wrong in this way of life, how could you think of another life? Therefore, it is indispensable that we see through this game and understand where we are going wrong. Apara Vidya Vishaya, the first Mundaka, dealt with all that. The second Mundaka deals with Para Vidya Vishaya. What is the subject matter of the sublime knowledge? And that subject matter is eternal, absolute, infinite, and eternal, infinite, absolute, and it is immutable. These are the descriptions of the absolute. So Paravidya is that way of learning with information, with education, and with instruction that you understand not through your rationality, but through the process of, as it is known in English idiom, the process of being and becoming. Process of gradual evolution. I'll give you a very concrete example. All of us, any one of us, let us ask ourselves, what was the area or the parameter of my understanding? Let me make myself an example. When I was just a little understanding, say 3 years old, I was told, this is my father's name, this is my mother's name. If you get lost, give these two names, and this is your address. My identity went beyond this body. I identified myself with my place of birth and my parentage. I started growing. Then I came to know about my family and my broad family, extended family. Then I came to know I was born in a state known as Bengal. Therefore, I am a Bengali. I have identified myself with the state which I was born. Then that state is a part of a country known as India. I am an Indian. Then I am an Asian. And then finally, I belong to a society known as human society. So my identity as a son of my parents remained. Along with it, my field of identity with myself has spread all over the world. I am a member of the human society. I am a human being, one of a quadrillion. my understanding has expanded. Now, what does Paravidya teaches you? I have this constant awareness of my existence. I am, I am, I am. Who am I? What is my true real identity, which is everlasting, that is infinite, it is eternal, it is immutable, therefore it is absolute. What is my real, true, absolute identity? It's so simple. I am this body-mind complex. That's what I am. But look at yourself. You say, my body is aching. If you are this body-mind complex, then you should have said, I body is aching. Does anybody say so? It is contrary to his or her own experience. I am experiencing my shoulders are getting rigid. They are constantly painful. My shoulders. I never say I shoulders. Similarly, my body, my mind, my life forces, my feelings, emotional, my rationality, my ego, I am aware. My egocentricity, how a sense of separateness is a Chinese wall between me and you. I have, unknown to myself, I have identified myself with all these transitory things, and I have forgotten my true identity. I am that. I am that eternal. I am Sat Swarup, Chit Swarup, Ananda Swarup Atma. I am Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Swabhavavan Atma. This is Paravidya Vishaya. Whole of the second Mundaka paid attention to instill in us the awareness that what I know as I am as of now is a misnomer, is a mistaken identity, is a misconception. Rationally, I am what I am. It is experienceable but not describable. Aparoksha Adhubhuti. And what is Paravidya? What is that learning, sublime learning? By help of which, yaya tat aksharam adhigamyate, you be and become one with that immutable absolute. All that has been said, and then he says in the last shloka of the second Mundaka, second chapter, Brahma Vedam Idam Vishwam. The whole cosmos, and you are a part and parcel of the cosmos, and it is nothing else but Brahman and Brahman alone in reality. This is how the second chapter concluded. Now we are in the third chapter. The purpose of the third chapter is, how do I get rid of these misconceptions, identifying myself with what I am not? How can I get rid of it? If I am a serious student, having understood all that has been said before, I would like to know, well, as it is authorized, as it is authenticated, as God's wisdom sent to me through the rishis, I admit for the time being, I am that. But I don't experience it. I would like to experience it, and experiencing means be one with it. Yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate. Adhipurvak gamadhatu is ek atmabodh. You are one with it. So the third chapter starts. And as we have seen, in each chapter, he has found out certain examples which, when we follow, we have a very distinct idea what he is trying to say. An example is an excellent teacher. Why? Because example is a situation or a happening or an object in this world where your ideas and my ideas, they come together. We don't differ. The fire is hot. The fire has the capacity to burn. So fire burns. This is an example. The fire burns. All of us would say yes. Why? Some form or other, we have found it by our experience, and I know what it means. So, your ideas about fire and my ideas about fire, they coalesce together, they come together, they become one. Jasminarte buddhi samyam sadrishtanta. So drishtantas play, examples play a very important role in explaining to us which is not explainable otherwise. It explains to us which is not experienceable otherwise. Fire burns, be careful. We understand. We don't disagree. Similarly, an example has only one purpose: to exemplify a particular idea. Don't stretch it further. Then you'll be in difficulty. As for instance, in the Kathamrita, there's a saying. A kite got a fish from the pond in its claws. Few crows saw to it. The crows do not have the capacity to catch a fish from water. The kites do. So the kite took it, flew off, and he was looking out for a place where you can sit and eat. But hundreds of crows came circling around the kite and pecking at it, and this and this and this made his life miserable. He wanted to be at peace with himself. He thought for a while. He said, I can catch something else elsewhere. He lets the fish go, and all those 100 crows ran after the fish. He was left alone. That means if you want to be at peace with yourself, don't get hold of things on which others have an idea. That is the point of exemplification. That the poor kite did not have anything to eat is not the example. Examples are there to exemplify one idea. Don't overstretch it, then you'll get wrong. So this is why an example is extremely important, and the example has been defined. What is a correct example? I've told you in Sanskrit many times, where the teachers and the students' idea come together without any contradiction. That object is the best example. Fire burns. Anyway, now we start on the third Mundaka. It starts with an example. Before I read the text, dear, I'll have to explain to you a little so that the text itself becomes very clear. In this body-mind complex, as of now, I say I am, I exist, I am in this body. This I of today, which is identifying with the whole cosmos through its 5 sense organs, this I is known as a wrong I. Jiva Atma. It is Atman, but now it is being qualified by the word Jiva. That means a normal, ordinary, mortal human, full of faults and follies, frailties and failures. Jivatma. But that Jivatma is in reality the Paramatma, the sublime supreme being known as our Paramatma, Brahman, Atman. When it is identifying itself with all the mess, he is a jiva. He has forgotten his real identity. And when he has got rid of this mistake, he knows who he is or who she is. One is known as Jivatma, the other is known as Paramatma. They are the same, one with adjuncts and qualifications, and the other without any junction or any qualification. Jivatma and Paramatma. They reside within me. That which is Paramatma, I, because of my stupidity, my idiocy, my ignorance, I take it as a Jivatma. So what is the process? The process is this Jivatma, knowing he is the Jivatma and his true original nature is Paramatma, he should educate himself, discipline himself, perform the instructions himself so that he gets rid of this misconception, misunderstanding of his true original nature, and he understands his or her true original nature. I am Atma, Brahma, the Paramatma. Jivatma and Paramatma. Atma is the highest common factor between the two. This is what it is. Sadhana means this Jivatma, by self-education, information, education, instruction, performance, reaches that state where all those attachments have fallen off, he is burned pure, neat and clean, and he finds his own true original nature. And what is that old true original nature? Just by comparison, the effulgence comes from the sun. The effulgence comes directly from the stars, not the planets. planets are reflecting the effulgence of the original effulgence, the sun. But the stars, the asterisks, they have their original effulgence. So Paramatma is only effulgence. It helps you to understand. It is not dead. It is not inert. It is Chaitanya Swarup, ever awareness, ever consciousness. That is it. Now the example starts. Let me read the shloka with this introduction. Dva suparna sujuja sakhaya samanam briksham parisasya jate tayor anna pippalam sadhu atti anashnan anno avichaka shiti. This is the shloka. Let us see Dva Suparna. Two birds of the same plumage. They are inseparable as far as their characteristic, original characteristic, genetical characteristic is concerned. They are birds and they are of the same plumage. And they are totally interlinked, sakhaya, as if inseparable bosom friendship. They are inseparable from each other, but they are two of the same plumage. That is, in me, Paramatma is, whom I do not know now. I know him as Jivatma. Both of them reside in me. One is a mistaken identity, and Jivatma and Paramatma, the highest common factor is Atma. That is the eternal, immutable, infinite, absolute. Dva Suparna Sujuja Sakhaya. This is the first four words. Two birds of the same plumage, inseparably entwined together, samane brikshe parisasya jate. Samanam briksham parisasya jate. They live in the same tree. What is that tree? Urdhamulam adashakam asattam praurabhyam. It has been said in the Gita. The whole world is like what? A huge, huge, big pipala tree. But the pipala tree is not growing from the ground upward. It is hanging, its root is up there and it's spreading downwards. The original Atman with Maya has become the cosmos. This cosmos is the foliage, the branch, the twig, the leaves, flowers and everything that a tree is constituted of. The Paramatma and the Jivatma, those who are inseparable, they live in the same tree and they live here and they thrive there. Parisasya jati. Tayorannaha, of the two, one of them, Tayor Anya means of the two, one of them, Pippalam sadhu atti. Pippalam is a fruit of the tree. Swadu, it has a taste. And one of them, of the two, keeps on pecking at fruits, just formed, a little mature, a more mature, almost mature, and ripe and luscious, tasty. Different tastes. One bird keeps on tasting each of them and suffers the experience of that tasting and makes faces. Keeps on making faces. What is the other one doing? The other one climbs right on the top of the tree, enjoys the breeze, looks at the panorama and whistles in joy. He is not interested in all this. The one which tastes the various types of fruits in various stages of maturity and ripening, he is experiencing his purva janma krita karma phala. Like you and me and all that. We are victims of our past karma and we are experiencing those in this life, and we are swinging like a pendulum between pleasure and pain and thousands of different emotions we go through because we are attached to the things of the world, and because of my past likes and dislikes, I like them, I dislike them, I hate them, I'm averse to them, and I'm attached to them, I embrace them. All reactions, and they give different results, and I am a victim of those results. This is how the Jivatman is being explained in this shlok. Two birds of the same plumage, everything is the same. One is totally detached from the world, and just like an eternal witness and observer, he sits right on the top of the branch, swings and plays, enjoys the breeze, and looks around the whole world and enjoys it as a witness. Maya Mukta. He enjoys the witness. He is not involved. And the other bird in the thick of it is interacting with the tree and is experiencing thousand and thousand different forms of results. Dva suparna sajuja sakhaya samanam vriksham parishasya jate. They live all within this, and this is being treated as a tree with plenty of foliage and fruit. Tayorannaha, of the two who reside within you, they are in reality one, but for me to be explained, one is known as Jivatma, the other is known as Paramatma, the sublime being and not so sublime being. Jiva. Tayoranna, of those two birds, one of them, Pippalam Swadu Atti. Pippalam is a fruit. Swadu means of various tastes. Atti means eats, pecks at and eats. The other one, Avichakashiti, that he sits there, he enjoys the breeze on the top, enjoys the panorama of this world, and he is unattached and detached, and she is whistling, enjoying himself in the same body. Dva Suparna Sajuja Sakhaya Samanam Briksham Parishasya Jate Tayor Annaha Pippalam Swadu Ati Anashnananno, the other one who is not playing this game. He's not pecking at anything. Avichakashiti. He is in a different branch, topmost branch, and is enjoying the view of this world as an observer. This is how the example starts. Let us move to the second part of the example. Now it is exemplified. After setting the example, I, because of explaining to you, have divulged it. He is now divulging it to you. Samane brikshe purusho nimagnaha. In the same tree, that eternal person and this jiva, both of them are there. But the jiva, he's absolutely drowning and gasping for breath. There are certain fruits, if you put them in huge water, they will sink because of their weight, but the specific gravity is such, they'll come out again and go down again, bubbling up and down, up and down. Allahu is a green gourd. If you find it out for yourself, you put it in a tank and you will see. It sinks and again it comes out, sinks again. Just like a drowning man coming up gasping for breath and going down again. Samane brikshe, in the same tree, the tree is this body-mind complex. Purusha nimaganaha. The jivatman, the jiva is drowning. Anishaya shochati mujjamanam. Because he has lost his true identity, that I am Ishvara. I am the ruler of this body. I am what I am. Anishaya. He has forgotten that. Shochati mujjamana. Therefore, he is totally dumbfounded, confounded, and he is going through all types of emotional experiences. Life is an endless chain of experiencing. That is what Sridharananda Swamiji explained. And the purpose of life is to profit yourself from those experiencing, that they are transitory, they are not eternal, they are painful. Let me find out what is not transitory, what is eternal, what is not painful, but ever blissful. This is what is being said here. Samane brikshe, in the same tree, that is this body-mind complex, purushaha nimagna. The jivatma is totally drowning into it. Why? Anishaya. He has forgotten his true original nature. Shochati mujjamanam. Absolutely flattened out. Mujjamana means buffeted with so much of anxiety and sorrow that he has flattened out. There's no left in him and no fight left in him. Confounded, dumbfounded. Sochati mujjamanam. Jushtam jada pashyati annamisham. Annam, the other person. Yada, when. Jushtam means yogijana sevitam. That is, the other person within you, the aspirant who is hidden within the jiva. He is suffering. He's feeling bad, he's experiencing. At the same time, he's trying to come out of it. A real sadhaka. He feels the burning sensation of this world. He doesn't know how to come out of it, but he's trying his very best to come out of it. The other person who has heard of these advices and he keeps on praying, he keeps on worshipping, he keeps on cogitating on his true original nature. In spite of he is a jiva. Please try to understand, don't get confounded. People who do not understand it in depth, they get confounded. What is all this? It's a riddle within an enigma. It is not so. Please understand. Put yourself in the place. I am suffering in this world because of my attitude. And I can't stomach it anymore. I'm trying to come out of it. But I have no other way. I don't know how to come out of it. But the effort to wriggle out of it is very much there. That very person who wants to come out of it but who doesn't know, she has heard Sama Dhamma Uparapati. I'm sorry. Sama Dhamma Uparati Titiksha Sradhya Samadhan Viveka Vairagya Sradhya Samadhan, etc. Mumukshuttam. He has understood and learnt all that. He has heard it. Sama, Antarindriya Nigraha, Damaha, Bahirindriya Nigraha, Uparati, withdrawal. No, I will not do that. I'll not go there. I'll be here. I'll not go there. Titiksha, I'll suffer it out. Whatever it may be, I'll suffer it out. Shraddha, in unflinching faith in the teaching of your Guru and the Upanishads and the scriptures. Unflinching faith. With all this, with mumukshutta, viveka, vairagya, and this shat-sampatti, you will reach your goal. This man, the other man in the body, the other person in the body, he is now following all this. Jushtam jada pashyati annam isham asya mahimanam iti bita shoka. Asya mahimanam pashyati. He, jada jushtam, by this effort of his, he sees the grandeur, the glory, the magnificence, the majesty of his own soul. He sees that and he becomes vita shoka, vigata shoka. That is, misery does not reach him. What to speak of touching him? It cannot reach him. Vigata, it has gone forever, never to come back again. That is, this Jivatma, by that tapasya, what is that tapasya? Remember the Anubandha Chatushtaya, Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhamadi, Shat-sampatti, Mumukshatta. And what is that Shat-sampatti? Sama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan. 6 of them. These 6 another 3, 9 of them. Having practiced those 9 of them, he has seen the majesty, the magnificence of the divine, Ishvara. And he sees the divine everywhere. In a particular form which he is used to worship upon. Ishta Darshana. He sees the presence of his Ishta everywhere. So dears, these two shlokas absolutely encompasses the whole gamut of experiencing. These two shlokas. Let me read this shloka again so that you understand it thoroughly well. Samane brikshe purusha nimaganaha. The Jivatman is absolutely drowning in this body. And Anishaya, because he has forgotten his true original nature, he is a victim of various types of painful experiences. And that painful experience is so staggering that he has been absolutely flattened out, totally confounded, dumbfounded. That is what the condition of a Jivatma in this world. The other aspect of Jivatma who wants to come out of it, he is being said here. Who is he? That same Jivatma in whom this desire to get rid of this problem has arisen, and he Jushtam, Yogjana Marga Sevitam. This is the meaning of the word Jushtam. That means the yogis have followed a path. What is that path? Anubandha Chatushtaya, Viveka Vairagya Samadhamadi Satsampatti, Shraddha Samadhan. That is Viveka Vairagya Samadhama Uparati Titiksha Shraddha Samadhan Mumukshakya. All these 9 disciplines, Jushtam Sevitam, you have, in spite of your agony, with your willpower, you continue to do so. And once you have done so, you see the grandeur, the glory, the graciousness of the divine in the whole cosmos. Jushtam jada pashyati anyam isham mahimanam iti vita shoka. Atsya mahimanam iti vita shoka. This is how the 3rd chapter starts. The 3rd Mundaka starts. Let us read the 2 shlokas together and then I will move on during the next discourse. Dva suparna sajuja sakhaya samanam briksham parisasya jate tvayor ekaha pippalam sadhu atti anashnananno annaha anashnan avichakashiti. The other one does not do so. He is totally involved in the beauty of the divine. The other one is tasting and suffering. In this body, the Atman is there. As of today, it is Paramatman, but because of my ignorance, it is Jivatman. Well, then, should I suffer forever? The next shloka says, no. This Jivatman, while suffering, this Jivatman does think of how to get out of this. And he is saying that with the help of this willpower to get out of this, and with the help of these 9 proclaimed disciplines, he performs that, and slowly he comes out of the habit of experiencing this, whereas he develops the habit of experiencing the glory, the graciousness, the majesty of the whole world, seeing God everywhere. Asya mahimanam iti vita shoka. Having seen that excellence, he comes out of that rat Rat, the Jivatma, has become Paramatma. This is the example, and in this example, whole of the teachings of the remaining Upanishad is to be found here. The next shloka, the third one, he says, Jada pashyate rukmavarnam, Jada pashyate rukmavarnam, kartaramisham, purusham brahmajonim, tada vidyan punnapapa vimukta niranjanam param samyam upahiti. Having told this example, and the main theme of the example is you have to work hard. It's not easy. It is not as easy as a cake in a child's hand. You snatch it and eat it. You have to work very hard. Immediately a jiva, a person like me and you, will ask Rishi Angirasha, Sir, it's a very, very tall claim. It's a lifelong labor, if not one life, several lives. Could you kindly tell me what I am trying to achieve? What will happen to me? Descriptive part of the Upanishad. Informative, educative, instructive. Description has also been given. But now in this shloka, he will describe properly that look, when the seer has seen and here the word seen has been given because we are used to see. But here please use the word see as experiencing. It is different from seeing with your eyes. But people have vision, which is a different ballgame. I'll explain to you when it comes to that. As of now, when an experiencer experiences that, Niranjanam Paramam Samyam Upahiti, he reaches a process of evolution, being and becoming. It is not like Hanuman Swami jumping from Dhanushkoti to Sri Lanka. This is not so. Sita Alayam. No, it is a gradual process of being and becoming. You take away your farmer's friend one by one from your socks. It's a gradual process. Paramam Samyam Upaeti. Upaeti, Upaeti. Slowly and slowly reaches there. We'll take up this shloka during our next discourse. Thank you, dears.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.